VoodooDE.
What's up guys, welcome back to Virtual Reality. My name is VoodooDE and on my channel you find the newest gameplays, hardware tests and events VR and AR related. In this video I will show you what is the best VR headset for you in the year 2019. So there are a lot of headsets like cardboard, PlayStation VR and high-end PC headset, but what are the advantages and disadvantages of these headsets? I will tell you in this video. So let's have some fun and let's go. Okay guys, here we are in the studio and let's go to several categories. So there are some more categories for VR headset. So there, for example, here are some cardboards. These are, it's a cardboard where you can put your smartphone in, and also some headsets with a little bit better quality like Google Daydream. Then there is standalone headsets that doesn't need like smartphone or PlayStation VR or PC. It just works out of the box. And then there are the PlayStation VR headsets, of course, they need a PlayStation VR, and the PC headsets, of course, they need a PC. So let's start with the first category. It's the cardboard and the mobile VR headsets. And this, for all of them, you can see here, you need a smartphone. So the cheapest ones are, of course, these cardboards here. Sometimes they are for free, or sometimes they are only 5 to 10 bucks, and you just put your smartphone in here like this, and then you can watch some cool content through this. It's not really possible to play very good games with that because you don't have any controller or stuff. Sometimes you can tip here on the side to activate some buttons, but it's not really experience for gaming. So you can watch like 3D movies or 360-degree videos, and this is okay for this, but not more. And then we have, for example, the Google Daydream headset, and then we can open this and put the smartphone in here like this. Then we can wear it like this, and here we have a controller. This is a controller for the Google Daydream, but this has only 3 degrees of tracking, 3 degrees of freedom tracking. So this means it's not tracked in the room. So the controller does not know if it's here or here or here. It only knows how you move it on the place like this. So you can use it as a laser pointer to shoot some zombies or some stuff, but not more. You cannot compare it to a fully room track controller like this Rift controller here. This is a huge difference. So you cannot play very big AAA games with these headsets because they only have 3 degrees of freedom. Same with the Samsung Gear VR. This is pretty the same than the Google Daydream headset. It also has the possibility to put your smartphone in here, and then you can play some small casual games. But please guys, this is not the real virtual reality. There's missing a huge part, the room scale experience. So for some small games this is okay, but if you really want to have a huge VR experience, this category is nothing for you. This is for guys that want to just see some 3D content, shoot some small zombie stuff and watch movies, but nothing else, guys. So this was the category of cardboards, Gear VR and Daydream. And let's go to the next category. Okay guys, the next category will be the standalone VR headsets. So the biggest advantage is, of course, that it's mobile, it's wireless, and it's totally not, you don't need to connect it to a smartphone, to a PC or to a console. It's not necessary. So you can, this is for people that want a really easy way into the virtual reality. So all you have to do is charge it, push the power button, and then you're ready to go. Perhaps you have to connect your Oculus account for the Oculus Go or your Vive account or whatever account for the headsets. This is the only thing you have to do once, and then it's connected. It's very easy to use with this controller. This is a 3 degree of freedom controllers. As I told you before, this is not possible to play the big VR games with that because it's not tracked in the room. It does not recognize the room position. It only recognizes the position on this spot. So you can, of course, shoot some robots or zombies and stuff, or choose it as a mouse cursor. This is the only thing you can do with that. It's not like this. This is much better. This is the Oculus Touch controller where you have full room scale, and this is a big difference. And also this is the Oculus Go, and this is 210 euro. And then there is also the Lenovo Mirage Solo. I also tried this. There's a big difference that the Mirage Solo has 6 degrees of freedom with the headset, so the headset at least is tracked in the room, but not the controller of the Mirage Solo. So the Mirage Solo is 350 euro, and then there's also the Vive Focus. The Vive Focus is very expensive, it's 700 euro, so this is only for business. Though you should not care about this, it's too expensive for gamers, but the Vive Focus has also 2 cameras and has also 6 degrees of freedom for the headset, but not for the controllers. The most interesting standalone VR headsets is the Oculus Quest. So this is the only standalone headset that has 6 degrees of freedom with the headset and also with the controllers. So you can really use it like a PC VR headset. You can move on the ground, you can use your whole play area to play games, and there are really good games available for the Oculus Quest. And this is the only standalone VR headset that uses the full capability of the virtual reality. You can do everything you want with the Oculus Quest, and this is, if you want to use a standalone VR headset, then you should go for the Oculus Quest because it's only 400 bucks, and it will be available in I think the first half of 2019, and you should really go for that. Of course, you cannot play every AAA game with it, but there are really good experiences that you will have a lot of fun, and you can completely step into virtual reality with that. So all in all, guys, the standalone headsets are for people that want an easy way into virtual reality, that have a poor smartphone that has a very bad performance perhaps, or people that are mostly not at home, traveling a lot, and then you can really use this one very good. So the Oculus Go is a good start into VR. If you don't want to buy a PlayStation VR, you don't want to buy a smartphone or a expensive smartphone, and you don't want to buy a PC or laptop, this is the way you should go. You can play some really cool, nice little games, but as I told before, you cannot play the AAA games like on the PlayStation VR or the PC. This is definitely not possible. So this was the category of standalone VR headsets, guys. So let's go to the next category. The next category is the console headsets. So the only console that we know, the gaming console, is of course the PlayStation VR. There is no other VR console that you can use for virtual reality or console that you can use for virtual reality. So this is the thing you should buy if you have already a PlayStation VR or you don't want to buy a PC. So a very big advantage of the PlayStation VR is definitely that you don't need a PC, that you can use your PlayStation VR, and the good exclusive games. There are a lot of good games that are only playable with the PlayStation VR. For example, Borderlands 2, Firewall Zero Hour, or what else do we have? Astrobot Rescue Mission, Farpoint, or Resident Evil 7 VR. These are all games that you can only play with the PlayStation VR. This is really, really good. So this is a big advantage. The next advantage is that you can also buy equipment for the PlayStation VR, like these Move controllers here. So they have the advantage that they are tracked in the room. So you can hold it like this or this, and it's tracked. You have real virtual hands in the virtual reality. So you can grab something here, grab something there. It works. It's really good. And it is tracked via the PlayStation Move camera. This is the camera. It has two cameras, and the camera stands in front of you, and it does track this little thing here, this little glowing ball. So we have it here, here, here. It's completely tracked. Also, the headset is tracked in the same way because it has some of the lights here, and they are tracked by the Move camera. Another cool equipment is the aim controller. You can play shooter games with this. So good. This is really cool to play, for example, Firewall Zero, or you can exactly aim like this and pull the trigger, and it has also vibration, and it's a really cool equipment for the PlayStation VR. This is a good advantage when you look to the standalone headsets. You cannot connect any equipment, but with the PlayStation VR this is definitely possible. Also, a huge advantage is the display of the PlayStation VR. Perhaps you know when you have a screen in front of your eyes, like it is with the VR headsets, you see, if the display is not so good or old or low resolution, you see the pixels, you see the single pixels. With the PlayStation VR, the display is really good. It has a lot of sub-pixels, so you don't see this screen door effect or the single pixels so much. You just nearly don't see them, and this is really good. However, there are also some disadvantages, of course, of the PlayStation VR when you compare it to the PC headsets. The first thing is that the tracking is not as good as every tracking on the PC. So these Move controllers, they sometimes have a little bit of floating, they are flying around a little bit like this, they are going away. Even if you hold it still in your hands, it doesn't work. Or if you hold them in front of each other, so this one the camera doesn't see, and this is flying away then. And also a huge disadvantage is that you only have 180 degrees of tracking. So if you have the camera in front of you like this, it's like here, and we have our Move controller in front of us. This is not a problem, it's tracked very good. But if you turn around like this, then my body is in the way of the tracking cameras. So this doesn't work. So there is a error message appearing in the screen that says you are out of the tracking area. So this is a huge disadvantage. This will not occur on the PC. On the PC you can also turn around and go on the floor and stuff, but this doesn't work with the PlayStation VR camera. What's another difference? Of course, it's nothing if you travel. You can't just take it with you and use it with your friends, because you have to take the camera, you have to take all of the cables, you have to take the Connect box, you also need your PlayStation. This is the Connect box, it's between the PlayStation VR and the PlayStation. So you can connect it here and also connect it to your TV, of course. Yeah, so for who is this the best thing? Of course, for people that don't want to buy a PC, don't want to buy a laptop, or for people that have a weak PC with not enough performance, or for guys that already have a PlayStation VR, a PlayStation console, of course, and for people that don't want to search so long for a good game, like with Steam VR. In Steam VR, you have to look like hours to find a really good game in these thousands of shit games, to be honest. And in the PlayStation Store, nearly every game is very good. So this is a huge advantage, of course. Also, it's very good for people that want to play in seated position, like me. I'm sitting here, I have the PlayStation VR on my headset, and I'm just leaning back on my couch and playing a little bit with my DualShock controller. This is very good, this is very comfortable, of course. So this is for people that want to sit down while playing virtual reality. I hope this was every advantage and disadvantage of the PlayStation VR, and let's now go to the next category. But first I want to tell you the PlayStation VR is about 250 to 300 euro, and also the PlayStation Move controllers are 80 euro for one set. Sometimes they are really hard to get because they are sold out very often. And this one is around 70 to 100 euro, the AIM controller. Okay, let's go to the next category. And now the last category, of course, the PC VR headsets. As you already see, there's a huge amount of this VR headsets that is available. The whole desk is full of VR headsets, and this is only a small part of the available headsets on the market. So the one advantage is, of course, that you can choose the right VR headset for you. So if you want to have a cheap one, you can go for the HP Windows Mixed Reality headsets. If you want a hardcore high-end VR headset, you should go for the Pimax 8K or the HTC Vive Pro here. And yeah, of course, another advantage about all other headsets is that the PC headsets have the best tracking by far. So they have, like for example, the HTC Vive controllers, they are tracked extremely precise. You see every millimeter you move this thing, even on the ground, behind you, on the floor, on the ceiling, everywhere you hold this, it's tracked. Also with the Oculus controllers, Oculus Touch controllers, they are extremely precisely tracked, and this is a huge advantage over the standalone headsets or the PlayStation VR. You can use the full play area of your room, and this is really, really cool. Another thing is that you can buy a lot of equipment, like for example with the Vive system, this is the Vive tracker, and you can attach it to several items, like for example this gun, it's called the Hyper Blaster, and there's a Vive tracker attached, and it is completely tracked in every direction, in every location of your play area. You hold this, it's completely tracked, and you can use it to precisely shoot your enemies. This is very nice. And for example, you can also buy like a haptic suits, the B-Haptics Tech suit or the Tesla suit, where you even feel where you are touched or where you get shot. This is so amazing, really, really cool. Of course, there's also some disadvantages. So you need a PC, of course. You need a PC or a gaming laptop, and these are not so cheap, of course. There are some virtual reality headsets that don't need a high-end PC, like the HP Windows Mixed Reality headset. It only needs a 1050 Ti, and this is not so expensive, of course. But there are also some headsets like the Pimax 8K that needs a high-end PC. So as you can see, the PC headsets is from low-end to hardcore high-end. This is very good. Another disadvantage is, of course, that there are stores like the Steam VR store. There's a lot of crap, a lot of shit games in this store. Like there are hundreds of VR games, and 80% or more are really crap. But this is not a big problem as long as you know the good 20% of the stores. And this is where I help you. I show you like all VR games that are available for the PC headsets, and of course even the standalone and PlayStation VR, but also on the PC. And if you watch my videos, you can easily see what games are good or what games are bad. So this is not a problem. So for who is a PC VR headset? Of course, for people that already have a gaming PC, this is really good. If you have a high-end PC, you should go for this one. If you have a low-end PC, you should go for the HP Windows Mixed Reality headset, for example, or Lenovo Explorer. And if you really want the full possible VR experience, if you want to move in your whole area, you want to sit on the ground, you want to jump, you want to do a roll or whatever, you can do this with the PC headsets, because they have full room scale in 360 degree. This is a very huge advantage over the standalone headsets and over the PlayStation VR, of course. You can even play precision shooters like Onward, where you have to really aim like millimeters to shoot your enemies. It is totally possible with the PC VR headsets. Also, it's for simulation fans that perhaps want to see the cockpit of your plane. This little writings, this little text or these little buttons, you can see them with the high-end VR headsets because they have a huge resolution. So this is the advantage and disadvantage of the PC VR headset. And as here are a lot of PC VR headsets, you probably want to know the advantage and disadvantage of all of them. So now we will look at every of these PC VR headsets, and I will tell you the advantage and disadvantage and the price of them. So let's go. Okay, let's start with the Windows Mixed Reality headsets. I have 3 examples here. This is the Samsung Odyssey Plus, the Samsung Odyssey and the HP Windows Mixed Reality headsets. A huge advantage is that there are a lot of Windows Mixed Reality headsets, starting with the HP Windows Mixed Reality or the Lenovo Explorer, for example. You sometimes can get them under 200 bucks. 200 euro or $200, and this is really cheap for a complete room scale virtual reality headset. These are the controllers, and also it's very easy to set up. The only thing you need is to connect 2 cables, HDMI and USB 3 on a Windows 10 PC. Attention, Windows 10 is really needed. You cannot use Windows 7. This is important. This is a huge advantage. You can only connect it and it works. It's compatible with all Steam VR games and Oculus with Revive. Not all, but I think 95%. Sometimes there's a little problem with controller settings or stuff, but mostly it will work, of course. So it's easy to set up, it's compatible, it's mobile, of course. If you don't need to attach something to the wall or put a sensor on your table, it just works without attaching. So this is mobile headset, of course, even. A disadvantage is, guys, the tracking is not as good as the Oculus Rift or HTC Vive tracking. This is because we have 2 cameras here. Look at these cameras, and they track the room. So this mostly works if there is enough light and it's not too dark and no direct sunlight. Then it works also with the controllers. There are some little dots here that are shining bright. It's some LEDs here, and they are scanned. These LEDs here are scanned by the cameras in front of that. So the problem is when you hold your controller behind your back or on the ground or out of the range of the cameras, the tracking will not work anymore. Also, if you hold them in front of each other, like at precision shooters like Onward, it does not work. It's shaking and stuff. There are some little tracking problems. They are really not so good as the Oculus Rift or Vive controllers. So what about the difference of these 2? So the Samsung Odyssey is not available in Europe. You have to import it. It's much more expensive than the HP or Lenovo Explorer. It will be like 600 or to 700 euro if you import it to Europe, or like 500 or $400 if you buy it in the United States. The controllers are included, of course. You don't need to buy them extra. But if the Samsung Odyssey Plus is the only Windows Mixed Reality headset that has the Bluetooth included. All other Windows Mixed Reality headsets, like the old Samsung Odyssey, the HP Windows Mixed Reality, or the Lenovo Explorer, they don't have Bluetooth included. So you need a Bluetooth dongle to connect the controllers. That's very important, guys. So this one you can get like for 200 bucks sometimes, and this one is more expensive because it has a better resolution, better sound, better microphone and stuff. Also the controllers are are better designed. The quality is better with this, like the cheaper HP Windows Mixed Reality controllers. They feel a little bit cheap, so this is another advantage of the Samsung Odyssey. So who should buy a Windows Mixed Reality headset? Of course, if you are new to VR, you perhaps don't want to spend so much money. So perhaps you should go for a Lenovo Explorer that is very often under 200 euro or dollars. So there you should go if you want to first start into virtual reality. Also, if you want to bring your headsets to friends, it's possible with the Windows Mixed Reality headsets because you don't need any base stations or sensors. And if you want to have an easy setup, you don't want to care about setting up the room scale area and connecting some drivers or so, you can go for the Windows Mixed Reality headsets because it's very easy to set up. So I hope this were all advantages and disadvantages of the Windows Mixed Reality headsets. And this is the Oculus Rift. This is one of the best virtual reality headsets and it has a lot of advantages. First one, the price is very, very low, guys. You get this one for 400 bucks. Sometimes they are even on a sale with lower price, and you get the 2 controllers and 2 of the sensors in this price included. This is very, very good. And the controllers of the Oculus Rift, the touch controllers, are the best available controllers on the market now. They feel so good, they are very ergonomic, they even have finger tracking, so if you want to show something like this, it recognizes it and it will also show this movement in virtual reality. It also recognizes if you only touch the buttons here. That's very, very good. And the tracking is also very good, but there's a huge problem sometimes when you only have 2 controllers. Some guys have problems like me when they only use 2 of these controllers. So I really recommend, if you want to have the perfect tracking with the Oculus Rift, buy a 3rd sensor. That's only like a 70 euro or 70 bucks additional. So all in all, the perfect Oculus Rift experience will be like $470, 470 euro. And then you have the perfect headset. Also, there is an advantage because you have some exclusive games for the Oculus Rift. So, for example, there's the game Robo Recall, Lone Echo, or The Climb. These are very, very good games that are only available for the Oculus Rift. You can play it with the other headsets. You need the tool Revive, but this doesn't work, of course, as good as if you play it with the touch controllers. So this is a huge advantage. A disadvantage of this headset, guys, is the problem that you need to connect all of the 3 or 2 sensors to your PC with a USB cable. And if you have a large area, room scale area, you have to put the cable around the whole area and connect it to your PC. So this is not a good thing. This is a disadvantage, of course. Also, this headset was one of the first and therefore has a very low resolution. So if you know this screen door effect, when you see the small pixels, you see them very good in the Oculus Rift, and this is not good, of course. But however, it's an old headset, of course. There are some headsets with higher resolution. Another huge advantage of the Oculus Rift is that you have a virtual reality wireless module available. So this is around 320 euro or dollars for the so-called TP cast for Oculus Rift. And then you have full wireless VR. So you have a little device here on your head and also a cable running to your pockets with the battery. So you can have the Oculus Rift wireless for around 320 bucks. Who should buy the Oculus Rift? Of course, people that don't want to spend too much money, like the 800 euro for the Vive system or something like that. It's only 400 or 470 bucks, and you get a very good all-rounder headset that you can play every game on it. It has a good tracking. It is very light. It fits good on your face. The controllers are the best you can have, and then you should go for the Oculus Rift. This is a very, very good headset. Okay, let's talk about the HTC Vive system. So there are already two Vive headsets. This is the old HTC Vive and this is the HTC Vive Pro. And the biggest advantage of the Vive system is the tracking system. So they use the so-called lighthouse tracking by Valve. So these are these two lighthouse stations. You need two of them for perfect tracking, and they are not connected to the PC. This is a huge advantage over the Oculus Rift sensors. They are not connected to the PC via USB. They are only plugged into the power outlet. So nothing more is, and this is the most exact tracking you can have in VR. This is ultra precise. So there are some little dots here, some sensors, and they look for the laser beams of the stations and can then calculate the position in your play area. So you see the little dots here at the HTC Vive and at the HTC Vive Pro, and also at the controllers here, these little dots, and at the Vive trackers. This is a very huge advantage, the biggest advantage, of course. Also, because of this lighthouse system, you have a lot of equipment available, like these Vive trackers. If you have 3 of them, like me here, I have 3 of them, you can use full body tracking. You can attach 1 at your hip and 2 at your feet, and then you can even kick some monsters with your real feet in virtual reality. This is really awesome. It's of course not available in a lot of games, but it's cool. It's definitely cool. So also with the lighthouse tracking, a huge play area is available. Like with the Lighthouse 2.0, it's around 10 by 10 meters. This is very, very large and a lot of more space available than with the Oculus Rift system. So if you have a large game area and you want still perfect tracking, you should go for the HTC Vive system, definitely. Also, it's available, an HTC wireless module is available for 220 euro for the Vive Pro and 350 euro for the HTC Vive 1, but you can also buy it from TPcast and it's a little bit cheaper. Both of them can be wireless. So a huge disadvantage is of course the price. We will talk about this in a few seconds, and of course that it is not mobile in any way. Most of the people are attaching these lighthouses on the wall and they will stay there forever. You cannot just unmount them and disassemble them and take it to your friends. It's so much work. So they are not good if you want to be mobile. Not good. So the first HTC Vive is of course very old. It has a low resolution and you can see the screen door effect very much like with the Oculus Rift. You see the single pixels. This is not so cool, but this HTC Vive is only like 600 bucks, 600 euro or $600 dollars. So you should know, if you hate screen door effect, you should not go for the HTC Vive. And if you have a lot of money and you're a really hardcore VR enthusiast, you should consider to buy the HTC Vive Pro, because it has a very high resolution and you don't see the screen door effects so much like with the old HTC Vive. You see it, but it's really good. So if you play simulations and stuff, you should go for the HTC Vive Pro, because the colors are very good and the black levels are very good because it has an OLED display. Also, the audio strap attached to the Vive Pro is one of the most comfortable that is available on any VR headsets. It's very, very comfortable, and if you like extremely long VR sessions, you should consider to buy the HTC Vive Pro. Also for the old Vive, there is a deluxe audio strap available that is an additional 120 bucks. I attached it for now to the Pimax so I can show it to you. This is normally on the HTC Vive 1. It's very good with integrated speakers and very comfortable with a wheel where you can tighten or untighten it. Very nice. So who should buy the Vive system? Of course, if you like extremely good tracking and if you like good colors, good black levels and good comfort, you should go for one of these, but it's very expensive. So you should really consider, is that really, is it worth to pay so much more money than with the Oculus Rift? Just to have a little bit better tracking? I don't know. You have to consider. You have the best tracking, you have the biggest comfort here, and you have the best equipment with the Vive system. Also, if you look to the future, there will be like the Knuckles controllers. They are also compatible with the Lighthouse system. This is also a point you should think about. And if you have a large play area. So I hope I mentioned every advantage and disadvantage of the HTC Vive system. Okay, and let's go to the last category of the PC VR headsets. These are high-end VR PC headsets and they are made by the company Pimax. So these are 3 different versions of the Pimax headsets and I will check this out now for you. The first advantage of these headsets is that they have a very huge field of view. So all other headsets that I showed you have like 100 to 110 diagonal field of view. And the Pimax headsets have up to 200 degrees field of view diagonal. So this is a very huge advantage. When you wear it, you see a lot more of the VR environment. You don't see these little black holes like you're watching through a diver mask or something. You see nearly your whole visible field is in virtual reality. This is a huge advantage. Also, the resolution of the Pimax headsets is very high, so you nearly don't see any screen door effect anymore, especially for the Pimax 8K, of course. The tracking system is the Valve Lighthouse system, so you need 2 controllers and 2 base stations for now, because Pimax doesn't have it on the market already. There will be some controllers by Pimax and base stations, but not for now. You need the old Vive Lighthouse stations or the new Lighthouse 2.0 stations. So this is additional cost. It's not included in the price of the Pimax headsets. This is very important. Also, the Pimax is very modular. So later there will be a wireless headset that you can connect to the upper attached USB-C port. So the Pimax will be wireless. Also, at the lower part, we have another USB port, so we can connect perhaps this Leap Motion hand tracking module. We can just click and it's attached now to the Pimax, and now we have like finger tracking. This works really fine. It recognizes how many fingers I raised or showed, or I can really play some games like flight simulators where we push the buttons with our real hands. This is really good, and we can just unattach it again. There will be also some funny modules like a smell module later for the Pimax that you can attach under this headset. This is very good, so it's very modular. And however, there are some huge disadvantages of this headset. The first one is the so-called distortion. So if you see the huge lenses at the edges of your view, it's like here, there's a little or a huge distortion for some guys. And this is really, it depends on you guys. Some of you don't see the distortion and some see the distortion. This is very important, because if you see the distortion and you can feel very uncomfortable with that, because it can cause motion sickness, or it just feels bad when you move your head to the side, and it just doesn't look good. So for me, I see the distortion, but I really get used to it. So the big field of view for me is the most important thing. The distortion is not so bad for me, it's really okay. But you have to really consider this before you buy that. It can be possible that you really hate this distortion of the Pimax headset. It can be possible. Also, the next thing is that you need a little powerful PC, of course, because they have a high resolution. Also, you have to change, you mostly have to change the settings of SteamVR Super Sampling and PyTool for nearly every game. So you have to play around with the settings a little bit. So these headsets are not meant for beginners. They are not for beginners, guys. You have to know a little bit of the settings and stuff. So perhaps if you want to enter VR for the first time, don't go for the Pimax headsets. This is not a good thing. You really need to know a little bit before. So the next thing is, what I really dislike is the poor material of the headsets. So where's my 8K? Give me a second. This is my 8K. So as I'm one of the worldwide testers from Pimax, I got these already for some months now, and when I look at this headset, there's already a huge crack in this material that's going through the whole headset here. This is very, very bad. Also, there's already an edge missing here. It's just gone. It's just gone, and it never fell to the ground. I never hit the wall with that. It just cracked here, and also at the blue V here. There are all some little cracks here. Even there an edge is gone. This is very bad, and it's only a few months old. So, of course, while you're playing, you don't care about that. I don't care about these cracks, but I want to tell you, this headset can perhaps be broken in several months because it just fell apart. I don't know. It's not good material. You really have to consider that when you buy it. Okay, so let's get to the prices. As I already told you, you need the Lighthouse system. You need 2 controllers and 2 base stations. These are around 500 to 600 additional bucks. This is important. So in Europe it's like 600 euro additional to the prices of the headset. So you have the 5K, the 8K and the 5K Business Edition. So the 5K Plus is around 700 bucks. The Pimax 8K is around 900 bucks, and the 5K Business Edition is 1000 bucks. So the difference between the 5K Plus is, if you should go for the 5K Plus if you don't want to spend too much money and really like a big field of view and stuff, and if you want to watch movies or really hate screen door effect, if you want to have the most possible, the best screen door effect, so you should go for the 8K. And if you like dark games like horror games or space games, then you should go for the 5K Business Edition, because this is the only one with an OLED display, so you have very good colors and good black levels. So if you want to buy the Pimax 5K Business Edition with the tracking stuff and controllers, you will pay around 1,700 or 1,600 bucks. So this is the most expensive headset for now, of course. Yeah, I hope I mentioned everything about the Pimax headsets, and I hope you can compare it now. Okay guys, that was the comparison and the biggest advantages and disadvantages of all of the VR headsets. I hope you now have a better idea what headset you should buy, what is the best for you. If not, you always can answer or ask me questions under this video and I will answer them. This is not a problem. However, there are of course some more headsets coming in the future. Like, as you perhaps know, I'm one of the testers of the upcoming X-Tal high-end gaming headsets by VR Engineers. I will be the tester and get the prototypes of this, so there will be some cool stuff in the future as well on my channel. Also, I will get the Oculus Quest and try the coolest games for you on the Oculus Quest. So if you did not subscribe to my channel, you should really do this now, because I promise that I will cover nearly everything in VR. I visit events worldwide, I test for you the newest stuff that you will perhaps not see on any other virtual reality channel. This would be really awesome. If you want to support me so that I can do a lot of more English videos, because as you perhaps know, I have a German channel that is much bigger and I spend a lot of time with that as well. So if you want to donate me some money, you can do this via Patreon from $1 per month. This would be awesome. You can find the link under this video. So if you like the video, why not give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel? Click on the subscribe button and click on the little bell so you don't miss any new video. Thanks for watching, guys, and see you next time in virtual reality. See ya!
VoodooDE